to DOdaily, Wednesday workout. It's Des here, just checking in to try and instill a little bit of midweek motivation. I've had plenty of that myself, I'll come back to that shortly, but as ever, looking to come on, let you know what I've been up to, continuing on from yesterday when I spoke about getting back to all those routines after the Christmas break, an extended one for me, which I realised as I was talking on the video how important it was just getting back into my usual habits. I realised how much my productivity went up by doing more, bizarrely, and by doing my activity as well. And of course that's what I'm always looking to encourage, especially on a Wednesday. It's not a conventional week this week, but it's usually hump day where we can sort of kind of evaluate where we are, look at how it's going, try and use what's around us, taking a bit of time for ourselves. Of course, that activity, again, something I firmly believe has got a direct link to mental health, because I know when I'm not on top of things and I get out there, it absolutely does the trick for me. But I mentioned the midweek motivation, and this morning I got up, and I looked at YouTube, at DOdaily, and I realised I'd passed 200 subscribers. For me personally, that's absolutely amazing. It's a target I've been working to. I was hoping to achieve it by the end of 2021, but just 5 days in, looking at my phone this morning, seeing that it'd gone from 198 late last night to 201 this morning was absolutely brilliant. A nice little confidence boost. After the busy day yesterday, after feeling like I put a lot of effort back into the things I do, spoke about my productivity improving, it just sort of made me realise that this is what it's about, getting back to it, enjoying it, taking one day, one thing, everything at the same time, whichever way we sort of approach it, it's about going into it full on, with all that sort of determination and commitment to do our absolute best. For me, that's what I've been trying. And whilst it's not a massive thing in reality, what's the difference really between 198 and 201? Not a great deal, but it's just something I've been working to. Small achievements, small targets, small goals, things that really add up to the bigger picture. And of course, trying to spread a message of positivity and being enthusiastic about the things I do. Of course I'm trying to build it. Of course I'm trying to get people looking in, ask people to subscribe and like and share. And even if they don't think it's the finished article, even if it's not for them, a lot of people are still a little bit put off by some of the words I use, mental health, self-development. They shouldn't be, because if you watch this, it's really relatable, it's really honest. I don't always get it right, I don't always say the right things, but like I say, I'm really, really grateful for all those that do get behind it, and for whatever reason they do, whether it is purely to support me or whether it's because they get something from it, it's absolutely brilliant. I understood when I started this that it wasn't an easy subject to talk about. I go on other YouTube channels, I talk about things that I know more about, football is the example. Talk about football a lot on YouTube, and I'm quite comfortable in doing that. And sometimes when it comes to sitting here thinking what can I say, it's not always easy. So to get those 200 people behind me, supporting this project of mine, that's really, really important. And I'll say it again, I'm really, really thankful, and I really, really appreciate it. When I started, I said, and I meant it, that if this helps one person, then it's done its job. I know it helps a few more than that. I talk to 5 or 6 people on a regular basis, who really do need a little bit of help. Of course, I'm not going to mention those, but I talk to them privately, and they refer to things I've said, and then we have deeper conversations about it, and that's absolutely brilliant. That's whilst it is kind of all I was hoping to achieve, of course I want to help as many as I can as well. And I'm really passionate about the fact that I think people get it wrong sometimes. I think people dealing with mental health and not being in the best place in life tend to sort of focus on some of the technical stuff, and want people to come straight out of the shell and out the skin, and of course there has to be a degree of that, and at times I'll talk about our responsibilities to ourselves and looking after yourself and trying to improve, and I'm not dismissing it when I'm like that, but the reality is a lot of people aren't going to talk about it if you just throw that straight in there. What I try to do is use myself as an example, when it's gone right, when it's gone wrong, particularly when it's gone wrong, because I'm getting more and more comfortable doing that. I'm not particularly comfortable doing it, I'm getting out of my comfort zone every day. Quite often I sit here just before I come on, not quite sure what I'm going to say, but it tends to flow because I just explain what I've been up to, and that essentially is what DOdaily is about, and that's what people are subscribing to, and like I'll say once again, really, really appreciate that. What I do want to sort of talk about a little bit more, and it's a subject that's kind of divided opinion with something I've written on social media today, is the biggest thing I've learned through doing this is actually who's there for you, genuinely, and who's probably not. And I'm not complaining, I'm not downbeat about that. One or two people have asked me what I meant. But the reality is you really understand. There's somebody who's tried to help and put on groups for people, and people have been grateful and appreciative of the things you've done for them. There was a bizarre sort of response when I started this. People didn't seem to want to support this one, and I'm not complaining, I'm, like I said, all those that do, really, really grateful. But it was a lesson learned for me, because it just kind of told me that people are okay when you're supporting them, and when it works for them. Quite often it's not a 50-50 relationship. If you're comfortable in that, if you're happy with that, and you won't be happy with it with everyone, some people it will upset you more than others, then you've just got to keep doing what you're doing, isn't it? Don't you? And that's what I'm doing. I just keep doing what I'm doing because I feel I've got experience, knowledge about certain things, particularly when it comes to the encouraging activity, and that's what I want to sort of put across. So for me, whilst I do feel that, it's not going to put me off, it's not going to stop me, if anything, it drives me to do it even more. But we have to have that sort of strength of character as well to realise that we can't please everybody, and sometimes the people we've tried to please aren't as appreciative back, aren't as supportive back. That's just something I've learned, like I said, probably the biggest lesson, but it hasn't put me off. I'm still here, day in, day out, talking about the things we do, looking to sort of build on that 200 now. I've already said this week that I'm really sort of reaching out now. I'm going to really sort of try and develop this, working on something for Wednesday workout. Come back to that shortly as well. But by the end of this year, I want to achieve 500. Is it realistic? I'm not too sure, but hopefully the momentum picks up, and like I say, these changes I'm going to implement will just help that, just trying to almost include even more people and something that even more people will want. What I don't want to do is put off those who are already here, but again, I can't be sort of deterred by that. If I feel I can help people in different ways, I've got to do what I've got to do. And like I say, the first change, I've spoke about it a lot, is from next week, a Wednesday workout video will be a reflection on my park run from the weekend. I've labelled it Project Park Run PB, where I'm looking to work away at my 5k time. Go to park run at the weekends. It's free, it's timed. It's a good sort of measure of where I'm at on a weekly basis. As I'm implementing all my other habits, getting up early, eating better, not drinking so much. Getting a few more runs, getting longer runs in during the week. Saturday will be the perfect barometer of where I'm at. So hopefully I can sort of highlight how we can make progress. Already from a run I did on Sunday, my last 5k before today, shaved off about 20 seconds. You know, again, it's nothing to write home about, but when I've got about six and a half minutes to sort of get back to where I want to be, you know, every 20 seconds counts, doesn't it? And from one run to another, you know, I'm still not feeling strong. It was still tough tonight at the running club. Of course, that's what I do on a Wednesday. That's my real sort of motivator. But managed to shave something off. And when you see those little bits of progress, you know, you keep reaching out, just like those subscribers. It's now 204. It's not just 200. It's like I'm already moving to the next thing. This 5K, I'm moving from one time, slightly down, actually sub 28 now. I'm actually ultimately looking for sub 22. So there's a lot of minutes to sort of work on there, but, sub 29. But like I say, from next week, I'll be looking to document that, create a few more vlogs. People always find those quite interesting. Of course, I'm someone who loves to visit different park runs, and even this month, I've got at least 2 new ones I'm visiting, so that should make it interesting. And hopefully those of a park run, with a run-in, or somebody who's thinking about getting into these things will look in on those and be inspired. And that's what I'm trying to do. Of course, there's always that activity element because of the fact this is my passion. This is what I said about the direct link to mental health. You know, I know it improves. Getting out there tonight after another busy day, you know, to thinking what I'm going to do here, how I'm going to do that. You know, it was cold, it was fresh, but it really cleared my mind, and it really made me sort of, well, it just put me back into a place I want to be, comfortable, you know. And that's what getting out and doing activity does. On a Wednesday, like I say, when we need to check in, that's particularly important. Just sort of touching on what else is going to change as well. On a Friday, when I do wake up to walk, perhaps not happen this week, what I'm going to look to do, for those who are really into the self-development, you know, I'm going to look to make some sort of almost silent videos. Not silent, they're going to have some noise over. So the walks I do, where I walk around talking, saying what I'm at, talking about a bit of this, bit of that, the week gone by, the week going forward, I'm actually just going to film my routes. I tend to go to some nice locations, country parks, places with great views, you know, see great sunsets. And I'm just going to stick a bit of music over it and put it on a Sunday morning. Anybody who wants some kind of, to sort of dig into the soul, or just take that sort of calming music and relaxed, you know, that'll be something to look into. And again, I'm probably going to get people go, what is he talking about now? We don't need that. No, somebody might somewhere, and that was the point I was making before. You know, I'm not spiritual, I'm really not, but I understand that getting out for a walk myself, getting into the tall trees, I've spoken about that a lot, you know, can be a really calming influence. And again, if I can show people that, you know, through a video which has got some calming music on, and it just shows my route, you know, it might calm them initially. It might sort of help them sort of soul search a little bit, but it'll also show routes, you know, show where I've been, show what I've been doing, you know, show the full route in actual pictures. And I'm hoping that adds something to a Friday morning's episode. I can just link it to it. People don't have to watch both, don't have to watch either in all reality, but it might just be a nice way of taking things forward. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, guys. Hitting that target has been absolutely amazing, you know, and it just made me sort of want to sort of let on what I plan to do next, how I plan to take it forward. I always talk about saying it means you're more likely to do it, you know, so now I've put it all out there. It's something I've got to get onto. It's quite easy sometimes when you've not said it, but it seems like a perfect opportunity now. We're hitting that number, you know, we're feeling good about DOdaily. Really positive response today, lots of nice comments, lots of people sort of sharing and checking out the latest videos. That's brilliant, you know, and it's given me the confidence boost to do all those things. Will I do them amazingly well? Well, only time will tell. Probably not to start with, but I'm going to give them a go. I'm going to get out of my comfort zone that little bit more, and hopefully this time next year I'll be pleased with the fact I've got 500 subscribers. Just trying to find little ways to help people in whichever way they need it. I know different things make me tick, you know. I'm accepting a lot more. 5, 6, 10 years ago, I'd have almost scoffed at a lot of the things I do now, but I'm really enjoying it. Once again, thanks for all the subscriptions. Please like the video. I'll keep the requests coming to share, subscribe, do all the things that help it build. That'd be absolutely amazing. But thank you so much. Until Thursday, where I asked you about those targets last week on the throwback question, I actually asked you about habits. What habitual change are you looking to make in 2022? I've said it wrong a couple of times this week. What changes are you looking to make? I've spoke about sleep and getting up early and making sure it's resolved rather than just a resolution that I break. What are you looking to do? Make it measurable, make yourself accountable to it. Drop us a comment on any of the videos, this video, any of the social media. I'd love to read a few of those out just to help other people. They might be thinking along the same lines. It might spark them into thinking about what they do. It's just using that inspiration where we can. If you've got any questions for Thursday Thoughts, of course I'll be live, answering them the best I can. Try not to look too much into them, purposely do that, whether that particularly helps on a Thursday or not. I'm just trying to sort of be honest, relatable, and say it as I see it. So if you've got anything about any subject whatsoever, about the subscribers, about DOdaily, about things I've said today, about me and the way I feel, about your targets for the year, about running, about COVID, please post them in. Until that episode, join me at 8 p.m. tomorrow live. Get involved interactively, but like I say, like and subscribe, all of this. Just doing it.